Hello. Yeah, we're live. Right. Cool. So I last time we went over my mission system and found some issues pertaining to the way the data is structured. So if we come down, we're actually in the right place anyway. So we have this container data. Each of these denotes a particular type of container in the game, and currently, um, these containers are actually completely separate from the items to which they can contain. So I need to drastically alter the way the data is managed in both here to generate the data and my resulting um, the actual in-game use of said data, which might be fairly trivial, but I've got to do it. So, right. So what we've got is a lot of conflicting concepts here. So we have containers, we have mission types, and we have items that go inside of these containers. So I think if I load Enterprise Architect, I should be able to find what I did last time in Ferry. And I think this is one I regenerated. Did I do it in missions? This looks promising. Right. Yeah. Okay, this is it. So what we have is container data, and we need a new table for container item, and then consequently we probably still want this mission item data, because this is saying that these items are allowed as part of this mission. So it might be something to leave later. Um, we'll cross. It's easier to add something new, and then go with that and leave in existing stuff and delete it later, because be ashamed to have to recreate the same code basically. So currently we've got this weird thing where containers are specific to a mission type, um, which kind of makes sense. Uh, but again, like we're now duplicating data. It's a bit weird. So let's think about this. So we've got mission containers, which was another new thing. Hmm. Okay. So what I'm thinking, if I get rid of this. So we want to go, can this link? There we go. Right, so we've got container data, and we basically currently are obviously duplicating this. So we want to get rid of the direct link for containers and their types. So we're going to get rid of the type entirely. That's just a point silly thing to have. Okay, so now it should complain at us if I, oh right, yeah, I gotta get rid of the type in here. Okay, that's promising, right. Okay, so now there is the concept of a container, and up here seems to be having some other problems. Okay, yeah, this is where it was causing problems as well, so now we don't need that anymore. Um, And now, so weirdly, we have this whole create mission, but we're not actually using the missions at all. We're just creating them with the concept of a type. Doesn't matter for now. Okay, so now we need some new data in here. So go to item data. Does this? Yeah, no, it's just its own thing. Okay, so if I go in here and we make a new class, this is going to be our mission container. And all this is going to be is a container ID. And do we have... I've got ways of looking up names from strings, yeah. That's not what I was looking for. Somewhere in here we pass in, yes, we go new loadout data. And then that should be... Yeah, get item by name. Okay, so we can do things like that. Okay, that's cool. So what we want to simplify this is to pass in the name, the string of the container, and then consequently it will find the right ID as and when it creates the data. So mission container, this is simply going to be mission type and then string, capital string, no, I think it is actually container name. Okay, is that the same sort of thing? Yeah, whack on a public. So now we can link containers to mission types, so you can have many to many, which is great. That's what we need. So if I get rid of this and generate the... it's one of these buttons, that one. We go, right, so we've got a constructor. So the idea now being, come into here and we go, so we want to have... So this has a... It says row data. So it's a table of it in its own right. I think it is. So okay, we actually want to extend row data with this. Let's actually move this in here. Continue. And then we want to add in the missing methods. And then the row data should have a name. So we want to copy this across. This is going to be mission container data. Mission container table, cool. So we've got this get last ID. Yeah, okay, so this yeah, so it keeps its own log of things created as well. So this is going to be mission containers. And we want the same concept here. So now we can do that. And it needs an ID. Do we already have an ID set? Yeah, we do. So then we can copy this. This is going to generate the string that we output in the CSV. So we go row data, sorry. Then we do type, doctor string, get string, and then here we want to, sorry, we're converting it to regular array. I could probably do something with that, but it doesn't matter. And then we want to get the actual ID of the container by its name. So somewhere, I think in loadout, we have this get item by name. So it gets item.items. Okay. So we could do the same kind of thing. So we've got container data. So we should be able to do in here public int container by name, and I'll put this in the container data stuff later. So it's going to be for container data cd. Oh, is it? cd dot table no dot. Hang on a second. Oh. I wondered why I couldn't see its name. Dot name equals name turn cd dot id. Wonderful, there we go. That's a string. So just -1 should be fine. And then I can actually take this out because this should probably live where that lives. Public static, and then we can use this to do row data dot add container data dot get by name. Oh, I'm adding it to the wrong thing. That's my bad. Container name. Wonderful. Oh, and it's get string. Right, so that should find us the ID of the container data that we relate to. So now I can in here do, so it would be table rows dot add new mission container. Here we go. Right, so we can add medical, and in here we could say this. And there we go. Right. That wasn't so hard. Just add a missing one of those, and we're good to go. So this is the start of it. So we can have medical supplies and medical case. Let's keep it like that, and then we do the same for like civilian. So they'll just have wooden crate. And then we have the same premise. So military will have medical supplies. We'll also have military crate. And then just for the sake of argument, so will the secret missions. There we go, right. So now we can, so when we come into the code that reads what items it can get, it will instead, so if I go into the mission date class, somewhere in here, there we go. So this will now somewhere here. So this will, rather than be get container data, this should be get mission container data, and then it will check the type, which will correspond to this, which will then get an ID of this, which we will then use to get the container that relates to it. So that's the easy bit, right? So we've kind of moved a enumeration from the container data out into the mission container data. So in theory, if I run this, we should get an entirely new table created. So that's going to be here. Is it outside of source? I never remember where I actually put it. I think it's just in here, yeah. So now we should have, do we have mission container data? We do not. Okay, so I might have missed a step in here. So let me just check. Oh, I think somewhere in here. Oh, yeah, here we go. So we do mission container. Okay, now if I run it, so if I put this here, it will error at me. Cool. Where is my console? Okay, have I not set? Oh, hang on. Okay. And let's just check I've not missed anything else. This dot data equals data. That's fine, we're not passing anything else in. And we probably want that as well. That's going to set up the ID. If so, that's going to increment the ID for us. I don't know why. Huh? No. We just do ID plus plus. I don't know why I'm doing all this nonsense. It's a static, well, it's a... Oh, hang on. Yeah, why aren't I doing... Okay, I can see why I'm doing that, because the ID isn't static. Because we're going to get the last ID every time, but we could just store kind of a duplicate of it. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that'll work. Is the upshot. Whatever. All right, let's see what happens now. Oh, hey, right. So we now have mission container data, which has medical, civilian, military, secret. Cool. And it's got its own unique ID, and these should be the IDs of the relevant containers. So we can see we've got 6 and 5, which are both the medical ones. Civilian has 4, which is the wooden crate. Military has 7 and 6, which is military and medical supplies, and secret also. So great, it worked. So we don't need to worry about that. So I can just infinitely add more data to it and it will work. So that's cool. And now we need to make it so the available items for a container are created properly as well. So for this, I'm going to need exactly the same premise. So unfortunately, all this nonsense going on here, and I need to kind of convert it in a similar way to this. So I think what I'm going to do, string, oh, I keep doing that. Is that, yeah, const is a bit pointless. Okay, right. Okay, there we go. Right, so I think there's a actual way of doing this automatically. Back to local variable, Alt-Shift-L. Medical case. Hang on, let me copy that. Medical supplies. Military crate. At least this will save me from the having to replicate the names of all of these things multiple times in a row. So if I change the string, this will change as well. Right, so that's cool. Well, that's gonna help a lot later. So now we need, firstly, you need to get rid of that. There we go. Now we need to add another bit of data table, which is going to be the container item table. So we're going to add another one here, new class, container item, and it will be row data. Beautiful, right, and it's done the annoying part to start with, which is good. So we're going to need a similar concept exactly as it is in here. So we're going to need to commandeer this. And at some point I'm going to need to update all of this code because it's going to be problematic otherwise. Right, so we can steal this as well. Put that in there. There's probably a way of making that generic as well, but I ain't got the time. Okay, so this is going to need a few extra components. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be string, whoops, container name, and then string, item name. Yeah, I think that's all we need. So now we can do exactly the same as we've done in somewhere. So we get this, which is the container name. Don't need loadout or mission anymore. So we've got ID, we want the container and then the consequent item. So we should be able to do item. Yeah, so we've got an example of this. Is it mission item? Yeah, get item by name. Which should really live inside the items table, I should think. So if we go into the, wait, is it item or item data? Hang on. Yeah, it's item. So if I put this in here, and then I should in here. No, it's not public. Oh, it is. Huh? Oh, okay, it wasn't static. Right. That's weird. What's mission items then? Yeah, okay, that was the old one we were using, right. Okay, that's fine. So we're not actually using this table at the moment. Or not properly anyway. So we need to update the data again in, so container item is, yeah, this is fine, right. So mission container, right, so we're saying it's a container of this type in this mission, cool. And then we've got mission items, which we're using, but I shouldn't be anymore. Unless it's like specific items, like key items, quest items, or something, which I will come on to later. Hence why I'll keep the file and stuff, so I can reuse it later. So that's got the add, that's got this. So this obviously needs these as inputs. Let's just be lazy about this. Let's just copy and paste it and do that. That's easier. Right, there we go. Penultimate laziness. So now we can link the containers to their corresponding items. rather than missions defining what items spawn in the corresponding containers for whatever reason. Um, cool. So that's all of this mission item stuff. So we can leave it, but we don't want to use it basically. So this is like stuff that can spawn in the medical container. So if I come up to here, so this is actually going to be new container item, and it's actually going to be for the medical case. Let me get rid of that. So we kind of want to replace all of that with all of this. So I might do, whoops, I gained an extra thing there. Right. We'll copy that one again. Oh dear. Right, got loads of extra parentheses. Right, wonderful. There we go. So that's containers in items in container. So you can consequently do the same for everything else now. Let me just add this to the actual output as well. Cool, there we go. Right. So this is going to output the information. Right. So this is in the civilian case. Right, okay. Oh, here we go again. Just copy and paste all of this. Okay, that's better. Don't know why I've got some ammo in it, but that will probably do for now. So that's the civilian case. There's medical supplies. I don't know why I've got that in the medical case. Just to have a pistol, that will do. What ammo does the pistol use? Pistol. 539. So yeah. Okay, so I could put 539 into it. That would be fine. So some potential pistol and ammo. That's a medical case. Well, medical supplies as well. I'll keep them the same for now. Just because it's easier. Because I think one of them I intended to be like a crate. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge some other time. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. Right, so then this is like the military one. So we want to take this, paste it in here, but have military crate. There we go. Right. So this is potentially going to contain a lot of items. Now, the thing about this sort of stuff is you do want to kind of cater it a bit more specifically. So it might very well be the case that I add in a lot more complexity to this in the future. Because, for example, I don't like it when you're playing these kinds of games and there is a gun with no ammo. I think that's terrible. So I could put in some rules um, that instead of it ever spawning actual ammo into the boxes, it figures out whether there is a gun in the box and consequently spawns an amount of ammo for it. A relative percentage, like 50% minimum or something like that. That's my thinking. So now we do actually have the opportunity for an alternate container. So we could have like, so we've got military, but this could be a, let's call it secret crate. And then we copy the military one. We call it secret. And we can make a new box for it as well later. So I'll put in a to do make new model. Whoops. I always put create rather than crate, but you know, it's what happens. So now we need this on each of these again. We obviously want to take this as well. It's unfortunate this isn't particularly entertaining, but it is very useful. And it's what you often end up having to do. Sit for hours manually crafting data sets. I've done hundreds of thousands of lines of Python test code injections in my time, and it is absolutely horrifying. Hundreds and I think there was a 10,000 line document, set of code that I had to write once. Right, so now we hit run. Presumably errors because I've forgotten to do something. So let's just have a look. Container item, add this. Items.size, add. Ooh. Where have we gone wrong? Okay, let's look at the stack. Intriguing. Oh wait, what table are we looking at? Huh, wait, where's this come from? Oh, it's because I've removed all the mission items. Okay, so I need to put in a thing here. So if data dot size f is empty, there we go. Sys out table is empty. There we go. Okay, so we should now have container items. There we go. And as you can see, it's just a list of nonsensical ID to ID matching. Because we're doing relational databases and there is no way in hell you're going to simplify this unless you start outputting the textual versions as well, which we could do. You know, if I wanted to make this nicer, I could output this and just not use the data, right? It's a bit excessive, but if I close this, now, and I hit run again, then we hit this again, and you can now see, we've got the medical case, security, blah, 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 and it all goes into here nicely. So that's a way you can make these all nice. But it's excess data that we don't really need. But if you had if I was implementing a debug mode, I might add that as a feature just to validate things a bit nicer, to guarantee that I've done it correctly. But because we're not working with the IDs ourselves, it's much more likely that we can obviously see what's going in what here, because there it is. But yeah. Okay, so we've actually got rid of a lot of things here. And now comes the even more annoying part, is we have to create the same equivalents inside the Armor engine. So I'm going to fire this up because we're going to need... Oh, do I need to... Yeah, I'm going to need to create a lot of classes for this. Fortunately, it's kind of a once and done type situation. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I just say, here's a table definition, here's the data, load the data in. It knows what the data represents because I've told it what to be. This is, the equivalent read opposed to the write that we do in here. So these should match exactly. Yeah. Let the fun begin. Right, so I need to come into here and we need more of this. So we've got mission item data. So we actually want mission mission container data. So this will actually have mission type, and instead of item ID, container ID. So how I'm doing that elsewhere. Yep, looks good. And then we're also going to want another one in here. This is mission struct, so I probably want to be inside. Where's the link? What else is in here? I think my container data's in here as well. Is it? No, it's not. Okay, now let me try and find the container data then. Oh, it is. I'm just not seeing it. Okay, so for a start, we want to get rid of this from here, which will break a lot of things. Yeah, I kind of need to leave it here actually. But if I copy this, paste it, we have the ID, and then all we want, this is going to be container item data. This is going to be container ID and item ID. I'm just going to do this because that makes sense. Right, so we've got two of those, and then we need the consequent read tables, and then we need to use the read tables, and then we need to actually test it with all the loot box concepts and things. Right, which won't take long, it's just annoying. So I need to make sure that I make, yeah, UCSV table. That's what we want to get. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot more tables as well. You could argue this would be somewhat easier. I could actually technically generate the C++ from this, potentially. I could create a internal structure thing in row data, so I could have like a num for data type and then name, property name, and then it could automatically generate the Umber engine code for the structure and then the consequent table reading at the same time, alongside these potentially. That's something I could do in the future. Oh, boy, crashed. Don't know what it's doing though. There, we don't need that anymore. Oh, good grief. Right. So, come into here, go into here. Tables, somewhere in... There we go. CSV table. Create a C++ derived from here. So the first one we want is going to be container item table. Data. Container item table data. What does tables? Yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now. Okay, and this will complain at me. Let me just check my messages. Oh, I've been on like drive mode for the last like a couple hours. Ah, what have I done? Oh dear. I pressed a new button on my phone and I don't know what it did. Right. Reload. Oh, yeah. And trying to explain to someone who's never really watched Star Trek how it all works, and it's not easy. Because surprisingly, a lot of people don't watch films set in similar universes, and it's kind of a weird concept to explain because a lot of traditional films are just back to back. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a lot of fun as well to try and figure out ways of it explaining stuff like that because it's quite a unique thing. Right. So in theory, I want an exact copy of all of this, but it's this. Does this actually have... Yeah, okay, so we want to generate definition. So this is actually going to be the same as container items, I guess, for now. Sure. And then we want f container item data. Right, cool. So this is the data type we're working with. Oh, wait. Hang on, I need to like go away. Okay, I don't know how that happened. Right. Okay, this is going to be container item data, generate. And let me move this across. Right. Obviously, this needs to be public. That's private. So then we have this. I don't think we call this super. We don't. And then we want to get the new container item data class. And then we go container item data.add. So we don't have a type, we just have ID and ID. So we've got data.id, get row, container ID. No, wait. Thank you. And then this is going to be item ID. And there we have it. So now this matches this. So you've got container ID, item ID. And now we have the table. And we just need to make it used inside the table manager, which is the penultimate table manager. So this is going to actually be container item table, data table. We want a duplicate of this, which is going to be that and that. Okay, we're going to generate definition there. Didn't I do something to fix this? Oh, I don't know, whatever. Right. Do that. Table manager. This is where it starts to get a bit ridiculous, but it's what we've got. Get rid of that. Now we've got that, 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 and that. Yeah, I know. Can you? Right, that should do it. Is that not what I called it? I just spelled it wrong or something. Oh, table data. Okay, fine. Wrong way round. Same difference. I came up with a better way of doing this side of things before. I'll have to reintegrate it into here, I suppose. I'll come on to that another time as well. Okay, so that's cool. So, for example, we'll be wanting T array, just F item data, this is going to be called, firstly we need this. This is going to be get container item, get container items, int32 container ID, and then all we have to do is do for f container item data in container item data table dot get data if data dot container id equal container id, then so here we want to create a new array of items, then we go items dot add get item data dot item id, and we're done. And then we just return items, and then we generate the yeah, I know. I want you to generate it for me, but okay. Sure, I'll make it myself, I guess. We have examples of this elsewhere, I guess. Okay, we don't return a point reference then. There we go. Okay, cool. So now, right, this is where it all comes together. In the mission, so where we get the items, so this is where it gets random container data, which is fine, but it's where it gets the items for it. So this is where it becomes a problem. So now we can do get container items, and we can simply do cd dot id. Okay, and instead of doing this, oh, that's interesting. Hang on. Do we just want the IDs? Okay, fine, let's change it. So this is going to be int 32, and it's just going to be this then. So we change that back to there, to there. Then we go back to wherever we were before. Here. Wonderful. So this is going to be empty. Otherwise it equals that. Okay, great. So this is where it all comes together, right? We've got a container, and now we know what items are inside that container. So we've got a defined list, and the only different thing we haven't done is this get random container data, where it's searching on mission type, which it still will, but this will be changed to get mission container data, and it will just simply return an array of container data by default. That's what we're looking to do. Right. Okay, so, but this should still work, hopefully. So I'm going to see what happens. Because we've got to kind of test one thing at a time here. We'll know almost immediately because it runs this. Yeah, okay. Uh, I should probably forward declare that, but that will do. Mm-hmm. This is going to suck, isn't it? Okay. Okay, if I close all, stop it from trying to load anything. Right. Okay. Yeah, so I might have to go through and globally do this. Mm, yeah, okay. Right. So before this starts complaining about every single one of them, because it is about to, I'm just going to go in the header and do this manually. We're forward declaring these so it doesn't have to load them at runtime. And this will future-proof it a bit. Okay. It will take a few minutes, but it solves an immediate problem. Let me just answer this. Uh, uh, blah 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 blah. Oh goodness me. I I'm so used to my old phone. I use the swiping mode for writing text out, and I'm very rather good at it. Problem is the new phone is extremely accurate in comparison, which means I'm having to actually have to spell things exactly, which isn't something I'm very good at. But I'm getting used to it. I will just need to check my messages again imminently. This is the sort of shit I'd get AI to do if I could be asked to convince it, but this is also the sort of stuff that I've had to do millions of times over in all of my prior work, so it's whatever. This is it. This is the you know, the effort you put in to get what you want, basically. There is one thing I would definitely consider using an AI to do for me, and that's update the bloody naming includes, because they've changed the way that they do it. I don't know why I keep doing this. Right. Thank you. Why does it... It makes so many assumptions sometimes, and I just can't... Oh, I can't stand it. Like, I'm just trying to type the word struct, not actually make a struct. Here. You'd think I'd be a pro at typing it out. And then update it. Right, build, rebuild, close all. Ah, wonderful. Well, this will put it a lot closer to exactly how I thought it should be working, at least. And then we can use the mission items as extra specific data for unique missions, basically. The idea being you could completely customize what items appear in a specific mission, regardless of what the containers have. And we do... A container should be more of a concept rather than a literal thing as well, anyway. Realistically, I should be able to say these items typically spawn in this thing, and then this area typically has these items in this mission, and so on, and they all kind of contribute to the same results. But we still need this system in place to be able to make those assumptions. Yeah, okay. Right, so we're gonna have to go through and do this as well. Every time we see a different one, we do the thing. I'm not sure why this is only coming up now. Wait, why? Can you... Thank you. I don't know why I was struggling so much with that one. Okay. It's going to be a lot of this. I'm surprised it's taken it so long to complain about all of this stuff. I'm assuming something has drastically changed since. But nevertheless, it's an easy fix. We are just adding missing includes. It can only go so wrong. There's a lot of dependencies in this project. Hell of a lot. Okay, that should be most of them. Let's see where we get to this time. Yeah, a few more. Right, what ones have we missed? So we've got undefined use. Okay, look, can close, get rid of all of that, right? Where's the actual problem? You're complaining, but where? Tuple reference. I appreciate this, but where is the container that you're complaining about? Alright, let's go to the first instance of this problem. Consumable. Right, so here we are. Right. Well, it's defined in here. Do you need it in there? Is that the problem? This might prove to be a bit more complicated. Yeah, because it's weird. Why does it need to know about it in the header? It shouldn't do. I'm gonna clean and build again. Oh, great. Yeah, stop throwing that up. Yeah, Tmaps might require the actual include in the header. I can't imagine why. But we'll see what happens, I guess. Yeah, same problem. An undefined class. And it very much. Technically, it's correct. Okay. Damn. Uh, for Tmap forwarding, structs. Just have a look. See if anyone else has come up with this. Blah blah blah. No, that's not. Yeah. Thought as much. Okay, so yeah, you can't forward declare structs. Okay. That's unfortunate. That means we're going to have to do this. So if I do this, and we take it out of here, and we've chopped this up again, because bit of a mess. And then we have to go through every single other instance of this problem. Weapon data, weapon data, weapon data. I figured that might be the case, but oh well, can't be out. Oh, right, so we're back here. So we get rid of this. It doesn't matter too much. It really is just the structs, but yeah, we're gonna have to go back through everything I've just done, unfortunately. So we come into here, we delete this, go in here, we copy that, we paste that, get rid of that, right, just close all. And so it begins. Oh, but this. Well, 'tis the way of things. Don't want redundant code if I can help it. Yeah, that's the one we've just done. Right back here. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Sorry about this, but this is exactly what happens when you, I don't know, do something step by step or all at, well, this is what happens when you do something all at once and then expect it to work, and then a single part of it does not, and then you end up exactly like I am and redoing all of them slightly differently. Okay, good. This one. Oh, these actually already have it like that, and I've just... Okay. Fair enough, that's why these ones worked and the other ones didn't. Yeah, okay, fine. Board declaration is very useful until you don't need it. Right. Let me get rid of it in here. There's just one big mega include for basically everything to do with my data tables, pretty much. Which is fine, because it's just defining a single class that gets stored once. But it is still could be improved, potentially. I don't think it's too big of an issue. I suspect this will be required still. I don't need that. Right. Get rid of it out of here. Once this is done, I can hit run again, and it shall give me a whole new set of errors. Okay, right, so if I close all of these, rid of that, do another clean. Probably don't need to realistically, but I'd rather clean it. Oh, whoops, uh, right. I mean, it's failed, but it hasn't complained about the same problems this time. Right, where did you get to? Anything I should care about in here? Yeah, that's weird. Unreal Build Tool cannot be found. That's not good. Okay, we'll just force it to sort itself out real quick. Go to survival test. Regenerate the Visual Studio project files. See if it figures things out again. Let me fire up Epic as well to see if anything needs updating. Okay. Yeah, I'm not using that anymore. So, alright, cool. Well, it seems fine. Alright, let's see if that solved anything. That's my first port of call if anything Unreal happens, if the Unreal Engine specific stuff. Because it just does a kind of a hard reset on anything that it auto generates. This might take a short while. That was unfortunate. Right. Interesting. Okay. Oh, no, it's still going. I always jump the gun with this. Right. Come on, you've got this. You can do it. Well, that's promising. Wait. Hey, right, see? Fixes all problems for the most part. Until you get one you can't fix, and then you spend 3 weeks trying to find where that one file keeps breaking, and it turns out it was a error somewhere else in the code that you didn't remember changing a month ago, and blah 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 blah. It's great. Highly recommend it. What a nightmare this stuff can be. This project is getting a little out of hand. It was kind of a prototype, and it still is, and it's close. It's nearly finished in terms of the prototyping. The result is I will need to like basically copy and paste segments of the project in pieces and create frameworks or DLLs and things for them. Right, I'm gonna hit the play button and it's gonna break, and it's gonna break somewhere I can fix. Good. Right, this is good because I've haven't actually removed that part of it yet. So if I get rid of that, that's because the data is literally missing from the table now. Okay, because that's what I removed earlier. So we can get rid of that. Right, that's fine. It can just be left as the default in the container data, the end default. And now, in theory, we're good to go. Right, give it a minute. It's kind of good. Looks good. Okay, where are we now? Empty array. Ah, I haven't actually loaded the data. Right, that would be why there's an empty array. Although I probably should have tracked down where it's failing to make sure that it tells me this in the future, but yep, here we go. So we do this, and then we do get container item data table. I think that's the one. That's the new, yep, cool. And it should just be that. This should actually make it load the data. If I go back, this list is just basically every CSV, get me the data, and job done. But I should probably put a catch in the place where it errored as well and output a log to say try to access something and output the call stack or whatever. Because, yeah, it's going to happen again. Right? Yep. I knew it was going to happen again. Okay, so for a start, where are we coming from? Probably the mission. Yeah. So this is get random container. Um. Oh yeah, okay, because they're all equal to end now, so it wouldn't find any. Okay, that's fine. So I need to put in the other table anyway. However, whilst I'm here, we shall fix this. So this is going to be if array dot is empty. Oh, that's tricky. Okay. Somewhere I need a log. I've got one of those log output things somewhere amongst all of this. And here, no. Here we go. Commandeer this one. I'm sure hover functions. This is going to be get random array is empty. And consequently, in the mission, in here we want another if cds dot is empty as well, because we want to trap it before it comes into there. Return function. This is going to be array is empty. Okay, perfect. Right, and I'm just gonna put those on an extra line. So that should fix that problem. And this should consequently do something. Yeah. So yeah, it does if it doesn't find one. Okay. That's fine. And I do wonder, I'll just sort this out a second. So that there should be a way in here to like output the call stack. So I'm just going to look into that because that will only take a second. It's interesting. Is that what this does? So if I uh oh wait, is that right or is it? Hmm. Uh. Hmm. Print stack trace. See, actually. Ah, okay. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And hopefully I can include that. Hmm. I don't know. Maybe not then. We'll just put this back to here. I would like to output the t dot class or something. Can I do that actually? Maybe. Anyway, that'll do for now. So I still want to do the other one. I'll just go and do that because it's the same premise as the one I've just done. It just takes time and there's no reason to show it. But regardless, that was a example of adding, new data to my system and putting it into the other end and then reading from it. Um, I mean, it should actually work now. It should just get random. I wonder. Hang on, that's a point. So when. Wait, I need to stop this. Yeah, I thought this would be an issue. Um. Hmm. Okay, I'll need to investigate this. Do I just do this? Uh, Wait. It's a function. Return. If you want to return by value and don't want to mess with returning pointers and new and delete, you can just do this. Interesting. It just says there's no actual gain. It's a macro and it's supposed to avoid. So it's just 0. Do you like 0? Which is essentially what null pointer actually amounts to. Nope. Hmm. This is tricky. Interesting. I'm just gotta try and sort this because I need at least an example that works so I can do this with other things in the future. Hmm. What's interesting is this is a class, but I'm actually passing in the struct and it works. So we'll see. Yeah, this is what I thought. Um, Maybe I'm being too generic with this kind of thing. I need to like wrap it in something. Isn't there there's a conditional or something to that effect? Is that what it's called? Template function. Is that right? It's just like a struct that has a template of t and it's either set or not. And then I can just return that, but it also has a cast. So it'd be for example, uh, let's not call it that. Result t, and then it would have like a. How do you do this? You give it an implicit cast to it. Uh, it's like operator or something. Did I do this somewhere else? My item structures or something. Because it's really convenient for a lot of weird corner cases. So I've got operator overrides. Hmm. Um, Alright, hang on. Implicit constructor. How do you do this again? Oh, it's just operator, right, yeah, it is, in fact, basically exactly what I was thinking. It's this. And then I can, instead, I can return f result of t. And then I can have a void set value new value new value set equals true. And then we can do instead this. So now we're returning a result, which is an arbitrary thing, which could be anything, and it sets the value of t, otherwise t is a default null value, in which case, so in our mission, when we do a get random, we know it's fine in here. Let's see what happens. I kind of like playing around with this sort of stuff, finding loopholes among other things. Okay. Oh, I want this kind of stuff, don't I? Let's do it properly, because we probably ought to. Um, Interesting. Oh, do I not need that? Is that what I've done? Wow, that really doesn't tell you anything, does it? Huh. Okay, whatever. I'll come back to this concept another time. Oh, is it optional? I think it's optional that I was thinking of before. Okay, well, we'll do that and then it back to how it was, and it shall in fact error if anything else does it, but I will. There's probably the onus is probably on the thing calling it to make sure it's not an empty array. That would be reasonable. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there. You don't really. I mean, can I actually test this? Does it get? Hang on, let me just check if it gets a random. Okay, it does get a random one entirely if it doesn't find any. Okay, so we'll try that. See how far it gets. Oh, hang on, this is the problem. Wait a second. So I actually need to remove this. That's why. Because that will always be the case. That's a point. Hmm. There's still a flaw with this. Hmm. Okay. Uh, it wouldn't be a flaw if I actually implemented this fully. Uh, but in this particular instance, yeah, so we've got other containers which have no items in them. Hmm. 0, 1, 2, 3. Let me do something. If cd dot id, yeah, greater than 3. So I'm gonna put to do in here. We need to ignore the layer and base inventory containers. Okay, because we got container definitions, so like the player inventory and these 0 base, 5 base, 10 base. I'm not sure what they're for anymore, so that's probably redundant data, but I could maybe get rid of it. Obviously the character inventory is important, but everything else is a little redundant. Awesome. Right, well, I've got board games on Friday, which would be really cool. Wait, can I actually do Friday? Whoops. Oh well, too late. Oh, that's really annoying. Fascinating. We got a lot further. Um, hmm. Huh. What happened? So it didn't find any container data. Didn't I just... Because that would be... Huh. What happened? Did something actually come up here? Get random container data array is empty. So it came all the way down here. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's why. Usually the case. Yeah, this was checking whether the container data was empty, which of course it already is. So there's no need to do that check. Um, I mean, that's obviously pointless, but yeah, you know. Actually, let's just hang on. Uh, uh, found data. Right. Here's what we're going to do. Found data equals return found data. Found data equals this. Right. Okay, how are we doing this now? Right, so this is checking, this is where we've changed it. So this should be checking a different table. So this should be the default. And then this should be else. This. And then in here we go if found data dot id um does it not know my okay, hang on. Oh, hang on. Wait, let me sort this out. Right. No, I wanted that. Thank you very much. Blah 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 blah. If it's empty. Okay, cool. Okay, I think that might make sense. We'll see. Right, it's a bit cleaner now. Oh god, I've been going for 2 hours. I actually didn't notice. Oh, hell yeah. Being shot at already. Okay, no items in any of them at the moment. Off to a good start. I haven't actually changed how they get their items as far as I recall, so oh yeah, I died. Right. So it works, it finds the relevant containers. Nice, okay, that's good. Good start. And I think the reason that they're not getting any items is because I haven't told them how to get their items any differently. So this item types is in fact actually supposed to be get container items. And if I now rebuild, that should be it, I think. Oh, should go, 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 go. Quick. Haha, huzzah! It works, right. We come over here before we die. Okay, looking wonderful. Right, good, it worked. All that effort wasn't in vain. Before we die. Nice. Okay, right, I'm happy. It all comes together. And now we just need to set up the other table so that it loads in and then it consequently finds the right data for the missions. So yeah, that'll be awesome. Still got some of these coming through. That's good though. Right, I'll call it there. Nobody really wants to watch this, but if I don't actually upload it, then no one will ever see it. And I'll probably forget what I did, so there you go. But I needed to get this done. This is the next step towards making the mission system work correctly. So yeah, thanks for watching if you do, and otherwise I will see you guys around.